All right, so if we can give a big shout out to Melvin for the wonderful music. And one of our entrepreneurs from the Ibero Business Center, the amazing wine. And then we have one of our other entrepreneurs from the Ibero Business Center in the International Plaza, Karina. Sensation. So these are all folks that have received technical assistance and support from the Ibero Business Center, which is, one of our, believe it or not, Ibero has been the Entrepreneur Assistance Center for over 2 decades in Buffalo and Waverly, New York at the time. We are now at Geneva, Niagara Falls, and now our new cohort here that we just graduated in Rochester. We graduated a total, what was the total between all the entrepreneurs?
13 in Rochester, 19 in Niagara Falls, and 7.
Yep, so 13 in Rochester, 17 in Niagara Falls, and 7 in Geneva. So great accomplishment. One of my favorite, they're all my favorite programs, so I have to be careful because. Yeah, I know, Katie, you'll always be my favorite. All right, so I want to thank all of you guys for joining today. I am going to try really hard not to cry because I'm a crier. But this is, I think, just such a big event. And I don't know if everybody realized how big it is, but the past 2.5 years have been a huge undertaking for Ibero. We successfully, we had a strategy and then a pandemic happened and we had to think very quick in our feet and we divested from a big portion of some of the operations that have been part of Ibero for a long time. We divested from 9 OPWDD group homes, really transforming Ibero as an organization and really allowing us the opportunity to really focus on the things that we want to grow and we want to do, which are things like our business center, our beautiful community resource center, our diversity, equity, and inclusion. I mean, we have so many great programs that deserve the attention and the opportunity to grow. So it's been I can't even find words for the journey. It's been a hell of a journey, first of all. But we've rock and rolled thanks to all of you guys, to all of our partners that have stood next to us, raised their hand, and provided us support. So this is actually something that we've been working with Peter Carpino. So I call on everybody. I have many consultants and many friends. A lot of them are here in this room. Most of them end up working for free after a while, as they all know. But Peter Carpino, when I first came on board, I brought him in and we did some great work around governance, and then we started to work on some funding and development strategy. And the big idea was that we will have a leadership giving circle at some point for Ibero. And I think after what we've experienced this last year, it is more important today than it probably was when we were thinking about doing it the first time. So your role here is really those seeds that we're going to plant for the future of Ibero to make sure that the next time the waves come crashing in, we have what we need to still come out on the other side. So I'm really grateful to you guys for that. I want to really express how important our partnerships have been through this transition. And I will be completely honest. Ibero almost broke for like a little bit there. It almost broke. But the amount of people that came together to hold it through the waves was extraordinary. And according to Berta, almost unheard of in our community. The amount of people that have wrapped around this organization, the Latino community, and those that we serve. And that's what you've done for Ibero. So when we say Corazon de Ibero, you are really the heart of this organization and what will keep us beating and going to serve our communities. So I don't want to spend too much time up here because there's a lot that I can say and I really don't have the words for it other than thank you. Other than thank you that we're here, we have a future, we have a path, we have a strategy, we have a lot of plans. We have a lot of growth opportunities, and I can't wait for you guys to begin to see those things realize themselves. Some of them we are already seeing and realizing, and it's a lot of work to be proud of. And I am just so blessed and privileged to be leading this organization at this time and be with this wonderful staff. I have a wonderful staff that just make things happen every day, and my board of directors who, you know, the way that I say it, they just been gangster with me. I mean, they've been ride and die, because the amount of decisions, the amount of change, the amount of movement, the amount of energy that we've had to create over and over again is amazing. I was listening to the pastor that I listened to in the morning, and he used a metaphor that really, really stuck in my head. Have you ever been to the beach and been caught up under a wave? Mm-hmm. Right? Like you just go in, it looks beautiful, you're trying to swim, and the next thing you know, you're caught under a wave. And by the time you get up, there's another wave, and there's another wave, and there's another wave. That's really what this organization has been experiencing since the pandemic happened. And to be standing on the other side of that with a bright future ahead of us, with an entire community wrapped around us, is just amazing. When I heard them said that, I could literally visualize the waves in my mind. You know, when March 18 happened and we said, this community said, we're gonna shut down, I'm like, how do you shut down an organization? How do you shut down an organization that doesn't even have computers? But you know what? Our Flips partners, they drove all the way to Syracuse to pick up 25 computers from a local manufacturing company so that Ibero could have what they needed. And I have a million stories about everyone in this room that has done that over and over and over again for Ibero. But our commitment, my commitment to Ibero is sustainability. Sustainability, and that we have the resources that we need to continue to do the work that we're doing. And I am going to do that with you all. And I'm just so excited to have all of my friends here and all the people that have wrapped around me to really move this forward. We are eternally grateful. There's really no words, and I'll ramble forever if you let me, because I really can't express the level of gratitude that I have for everybody in this room that has wrapped around us. Thank you. So now we're with Joey, who probably has like a drafted speech and will be more organized than I was, but that's the balance.
Buenas noches. Good evening. Of course, I lost my digital page here. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here tonight to celebrate a historical moment for Ibero. You know, Andrew was speaking about the last 2 to 3 years have been, for our world and our nation, we've really been turned upside down, right? Health pandemics, inequities, injustice, national disasters, natural disasters. And through these very trying times, unfortunately, many human service organizations have closed their doors, right? They've crushed under the pressure, lack of resources, lack of staff. These are many of the things that Ibero had to deal with through these times. Tonight, though, we gather to bear witness, not to the ruins of a great organization, but a reinforced foundation that's a critical pillar in Rochester, the greater Rochester area, the Capital Region District. Since Ibero's inception in 1968, it's been a lamp of hope and refuge that's burned bright to light a path of stability, education, prosperity, and greater overall socioeconomic progress. For those close to Ibero, you know very well that our last year and a half was by far the most challenging time for this organization. I just finished my first term as the board chair, which is my first time serving in this capacity for any board that I've been on. And it was quite the organization to cut my teeth on the first time. I had some great support along the way, thank you. A lot of previous board chairs here that are still living, so it gives me hope. Looking back, was I the best board chair to, lead our board and support the organization during these times? If I'm honest, I would say no. I have never been through with an organization that went through this type of crisis before, but maybe that's why it made me a better candidate. In my life, there have been, moments which I'm sure all of us have experienced where they're quite dire. And you don't fully understand how bad the deck is stacked against you. You don't fully comprehend that the probability of success is highly overshadowed by the probability of failure. What you do know, though, is that people are counting on you, and you can't fail. And that was kind of our theme, right? That theme, walking along with Angie and her leadership team, she was relentless in her quest to stabilize and position Ibero for a longer-term sustainability and viability. And I know this night is not about her or her team, but I just want to take a moment and recognize her. I think we can all agree that exiting those dire times in our lives would not have been possible without having others to support you along the way. To hold your arms up, encourage you to take the next step, to pull and push you to that next summit. Ibero's light of hope still burns bright for the communities that we serve today, and it's because of many of the people in this room and outside of this room, in this community, across the state, and even nationally now.
Yes.
Nice job. The Corazon of Ibero burns with a fire that's fueled by love, compassion, commitment, and reverence for those who have laid the foundations for us and those that will tread upon what we build for them. And as I look around this room today, I see many of the sources of those contributions, foundations, elected officials, very generous agencies, and individual philanthropists. We are grateful. As Angie said, there's no words that can describe how grateful we are. During our most challenging times, you wrapped your arms around us, you stood with us in the middle of the storm, and you helped keep that light of Ibero's heart shining bright. The Corazon de Ibero, the Ibero Leadership Giving Society, is what we're celebrating here tonight. It's the first ever organized philanthropic movement that is one of our strategies to support the longer-term plan for fiscal sustainability and viability of Ibero. It is the shield that we will use to weather the storms of life and further our mission to uplift, empower, and advocate for Latinos. I'm extremely excited to see how many founding members we have of the society here today. And if you're not a member, I implore you to think very hard about it today and making that decision. And if you're on the fence, I'd love to be that person to push or pull you into making that decision. So just holler at me if you are that person. But again, thank you for your time here tonight. Thank you for celebrating with us. Thank you for your contributions. Saludos.
Told you guys, Joey was going to be much better at it. So, we've worked a lot on our brand, so hopefully you guys are seeing that shine through. And our tagline is, we are a conduit, we are a convener, and we're a catalyst for the community that we serve. And those three things are really important to fulfill our mission, because our mission is to uplift, empower, and advocate. And that's really at the heart of what Ibero does. So, and it was really important in the work that we've done with all our different consultants to tell people, Ibero does so much. I mean, I came into Ibero and learned things about Ibero I don't even know. And it's time for us to call on our community, to call on our partners, and make sure that we have the resources and we have the support, and you are our advocates in that mission. You guys are all the people that are making those phone calls for me, going to bat for Ibero and the people that they serve, and really ensuring that we have the resources that we need. So to start our circle is quite a commitment, right? It's $1,000 every year for 3 years. And I'm really proud to announce we have 29 people that have made that commitment already to our dog. Outside of that 29, we have, through the supports of foundations and other private donors, we have been able in this crisis to raise almost $800,000 of just money to help us. And without that, we wouldn't be here. We would not be here. So it is an amazing action. It is an amazing cry that we did, but the response was just even more amazing. And a lot of the people who have helped us are not here. I do want to do some special acknowledgements, just my fighters. I have two people that fought really hard for me, and that's Jim Grossman. Everybody knows Jim, one of the greatest attorneys. He went to bat and fought really hard with Ibero. And another one is Jerry Archibald. He's in Florida in a meeting and couldn't attend today, but we all had breakfast. Jerry has gone to the highest levels of state to just fight the fight for Ibero. So I want to just acknowledge the amount of hours, the texts, the emails, just the calls of me just ranting, hey, what do you guys think, and just rapping. I think they were ready for a good fight, and now it's just like, go for it. And they did. We are gonna win it. And that's gonna be an even better story to tell. So now we'll take an opportunity to just recognize, we did make, some certificates for you guys. Some of the folks are not here, but I do wanna say their names out loud. Jamie Saunders from United Way, who not only supports us through United Way, but is a great person that I've relied on and called upon when I need it. And I know she couldn't be here, but I know Mark Anthony, I believe, is somewhere around here representing her, so we'll give you that to share with her. Orlando and Denisha, who are just always presente. We roped everybody in, so Denisha is one of the newest members to our board, head of our fundraising committee for 2023. Taking on my board from here. Carl and Diana. Carl's here, I think. Yeah. For joining the circle and always supporting Ibero. Thank you. Juan Lugo, thank you. For staying presente, and for those that don't know, Juan was the board chair of Ibero for a very, very long time, so he knows exactly what we're talking about. and all the challenges that Ibero faces. Berlin, who was a previous board chair, she's in Spain, but she just raised her hand and she said, Angie, whatever you need. She joined our circle. Jerry, like I said, he's just been a partner in this journey and in this fight. And then I'm leaving my board for last because I have to. There's a lot of. Sorry, guys.
Way to go, board.
Way to go, board. 100% contribution. It's always a good thing to, right? If we can't support our own, why would we ask anybody else? Sorry, guys. Probably should have sorted through these. Those are here? Okay. They'll read them anyway. They're they staff. Right? Okay. Good. Herb Etcher, who is very familiar with the journey. Who I know his mom was the CEO for many years. I want to thank her for your commitment to us and the work that we're moving forward.
My pleasure, great work.
Annette Ramos, who's not here, but Annette is just an amazing connector. Olgin Vargas, who always says presente even when he was out of the state. I think he left. Or he may be back. No, I think he left. His wife had a gathering at home. Miguel, who's not here, Velasquez, but Miguel was the previous board chair. He was the board chair that hired me in and just always presente for Ibero and willing to support. Certificate for my husband. And then my Aunt Ida, who joined the circle, and we paid her and then she gives it back. And then I'm really proud to say that everyone in my executive team also joined the circle and their families. So Katie, Augustine, Susan, Jose Cruzado, myself, Miguel, Eugenio Marlin, every single member of the executive team joined the circle and made that commitment. And 100% of my board made that commitment to that. And here we have Jim, who's my previous board chair, Otero and Jim, there's no words for the gratitude. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna send you emails all the time still because it just feels weird not having you guys on the board next year, but they've just been amazing and provided the support. Diane, I think, is somewhere in here. Diane Cicero, Arlene Santiago, the other Diana Hernandez, who's my vice chair, Denisha, the entire board, Victor, I remember everybody has committed. So thank you so much, but I do want to take a special recognition to the foundations. And I know they're not all here, but we made a call for help and everyone answered. Everyone answered. United Way, Wilson, Farish, Greater Rochester Health Foundation, ESL Rochester Area Community Foundation. I said, I need help, and they almost took over. Like, they were like, Angie, we're gonna project manage this for you. And, and they've just been amazing, making the calls. I also wanna thank the entire state delegation. They put a letter together and went to bat with the governor's office. And they are fighting really hard to make sure that Ibero hopefully gets the resources that we need to continue to move forward, that we lost during this transition. The county exec, Adam Bello, Joe Morelli, there hasn't been a person that I have not called that has not gone above and beyond to answer. And I am committed to telling that story because I feel like people need to know how important it is that no one in this community said no. I was just joking with Belta when I realized that I needed to ask for help. I was driving home and, God kind of spoke to me and said, well, you need to ask for help. And I said, how do you go ask all these people for all this money? They're gonna think I'm crazy. And I prayed on it for a little bit, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna reach out to my partners. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say, this is what we've been going through. This is what we need. This is how we're moving forward. And everybody rose their hand. The past couple of months have been amazing. Just people, one after the other, raising their hand. So I am grateful, and like I said, there's just no words. I'll ramble on forever if you let me. So with that said, I think the next thing is Diane's gonna share some words, and then we're gonna have a dance demonstration. He's like, not me.
Like Ibero, it tries to treat you holistically, right? They feed you. They really engage with you intellectually, and then they want to also exercise you at the end, right? So they treat you holistically. But I will introduce the dance instructors and at the end of this little thing I want to say. I really am taken back because I really feel this year has been a year of miracles for Ibero. But Ibero has always stood on the philosophy and the premise that it's always been focused since 1968. It had its heart to help the people in this city and genuine love and compassion for the community. And it has been the strength of always looking at the future, but respecting the past, that has kept Ibero strong. We went through a crisis, I think the whole world went through a crisis, right, during COVID. But the fundamentals of Ibero were there, and the strength of the people were there, and the people that work for Ibero, the people that lead Ibero, the people that donate to Ibero, believe in Ibero. And Ibero has come through, I really believe, through a miracle, but also because the foundation was set there. We have the right leader for the right time. I tell you, you've been the right leader for the right time. Giving credit to all before as well, because we are here as a community. I really feel strongly, and I mean strongly, that this will be a model of excellence in the future. That Ibero will be the model of excellence, that will have satellites, will be the leader in the region, it has the capacity to do that. It's very result-oriented, it's very centered, very focused. And I believe that the strength that's here, the donors, without you, we couldn't do it, right? And just that mind of philanthropy that we're gonna give because we believe. And it serves people every day. The challenges that this organization faces every day, it's real, it's complex, it's multi-generational. It's not only a program here or a program there. We serve multi-generational. And I really believe in the heart of everyone that's here today that if you give and you trust and you have faith, you can count that we will move forward. They're very visionary. This is a very visionary agency. It's focused, it's very strategic, and it's result-oriented. And we're gonna get there. And we're gonna see this as a model of excellence, not only here, it could go national, it could go international, because we have other components that it takes. So I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm very appreciative. We are very appreciative. And we really mean that, because it's not only about monetary contribution, it's what's with it. Right, what comes with it, your intellectual capital, your partnerships, your network. It's so important that when we are in a situation that we were in, that Angie was able to reach out and get the results that she did. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I want to thank also Jessica de Valle, because she, it takes a lot to even do an event like this, just the details, and she has been a trooper. Manages marketing. So I want to leave you with the words, Winston Churchill, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And we're closing with that. But I want to introduce our dance instructors. Todd Gillenwater, I haven't met him yet. And Lisa Pavon. Yeah. Are they on the way? And they're gonna, does everybody have the dancing shoes on? Okay. Because they're gonna show us, but I think they expect us to engage. So we'll start with Herb over here,